Everyone. Welcome to Krystle Clear. This is officially the second episode. I'm so excited to have Natalie Keltoff as my second guest. She is my right hand, my confidant, family, best friend. We've worked together now for 8 years. We recorded this.
The reason why we have a glass of wine right now is because we recorded this entire episode and
Didn't actually hit record.
So
we decided to take a pause and get a glass of champs and do it again. So I think
here's to round two.
cheers. Okay,
Cheers.
Natalie. So we work together. We've worked together now for 8 years, and you're also obviously in real estate. So I would love for you to tell everyone who you are.
Thank you for having me. I grew up outside of Dallas, north of Dallas, in Plano and McKinney. I moved to Austin 12 years ago. I moved here to go to Texas and just stayed afterwards.
Like so many people do.
Like so many people, partly because I love this city so much, and another part is because of you. We met actually through Liz, your first guest.
Mm-hmm.
I was interning with her for a couple years during college, and it got to the time where I was graduating, and she knew that I, wanted to be in luxury real estate. That's always been a dream of mine. And since I was a little girl, and I had expressed that to her. So when we sat down to kind of do like my final review of my internship, she was like, and one of my best friends, Krystle's looking for an executive assistant at the time. And, why don't you go interview with her? And I was like, jumped at the chance because actually, when I interned for a boutique brokerage in college, the assistant there had told me, if I can give you any advice, intern as an assistant or be an assistant to a top agent in Austin. That is the fastest way you're going to grow in this business. And I really took that to heart. So I interviewed with you on a Thursday, graduated on Saturday, started working for you, I think on like Tuesday. And it was a whirlwind, but it was amazing. And it has shaped my entire career and life so far. I live with my boyfriend of 13 years. We have a dog together. We bought our house in 2021. And I have a lot of family still and friends in Dallas and go back to Dallas often, but Austin is definitely home to me and Jordan, and we have a lot of family and friends here now. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying being at this stage in my life. I'm going to be 30 next month.
Mm-hmm. A big birthday, big milestone in one's life.
It's huge, and I am just kind of been reflecting over the past few months of like where I am in my life with professionally, personally, and kind of like taking stock of everything. And it's really it's just been like grounding and kind of healing for me, because I feel like I do get caught up sometimes in like just the day-to-day of work and life and everything, and it's really like I'm happy where I am right now, and I love this city so much too. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And well, let's also mention that your mother's from Alabama.
Yes.
And your dad's from Nicaragua.
Yes.
So you are a Latina also. You may not look it with your red hair and your gorgeous blue eyes.
My mom has blonde hair, green eyes. My dad, growing up, people would always be like, is your dad Mexican?
He's like me. He has dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes.
And so, yeah, I'm a little mutt, but I love being able to call that, part of myself and my family. And I grew up going to Nicaragua and Costa Rica a lot. We would spend like a month to 2 months there at a time per year. And it just really shaped who I am. Honestly, Nicaragua more so, it's a third world country, and most of my family on my dad's side still lives there. And it really has made me grateful for what we have here in, the US, and really has shaped how I look at the world. And I love to travel. I love to experience new cultures, but growing up from my first trip there was 6 months old, and I've been going there ever since, and for extended periods of time. So I just really am grateful that I've had that experience.
Yeah, I will say it makes sense, that you had that in your childhood. Not a lot of people get those experiences.
Hmm.
And so I will say for someone that, you were raised like very privileged in the big, beautiful house, in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So for you, I feel like you're just very grounded. You're very kind. You're very humble. And I
Thank you.
imagine that experience of like going to different countries and seeing how other people live and then coming back and being able to appreciate, the
Yeah.
privileges that you have, not only just the way you grew up, but living in the United States relative to like another country
Yeah, for
that really
sure.
shaped you as an individual.
Yeah, I mean, I attribute it to that, and travel as a young kid and into those countries that weren't as fortunate as we are. And also my parents are very, very humble. They're very, um, they're probably the most down to earth people
Hmm.
I can think of. And so I just grew up with a very humble upbringing, and in the sense of,
I'm like, girl,
no, in the
I saw that house
in
your
this
parents sold.
in the sense of just like everyday life. I mean,
Yeah.
just because we, lived in a nice house and had a beautiful backyard, and were able to travel, and they, able to buy me and my brother first cars, and just had a nice
Pay
experience,
for your college.
paid for my college
Yeah.
and everything. I don't take that for granted,
Right.
because growing up, they would say, do not take this for granted. Not everyone has this opportunity. I mean, it's meant a lot. And I think that that's where I get my work ethic from. My dad, he worked so hard growing up. And I don't really speak a lot of Spanish, because he was always working, and my mom would teach me. My mom would literally be like, oh, you want a cookie? Well, what is it in Spanish?
Mhm.
Before she would give it to me. And so, he would get home from work and not want to fight with a 5-year-old who doesn't want to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And so he worked so hard. He worked in technology in the 90s and early 2000s. He sold like the first like Cisco phones that you see at
Mhm.
hotels and stuff. They were like stacked in boxes in our garage when I was a little girl, because he was like out there trying to sell the first phone systems and stuff. So yeah, that really shaped me, seeing how hard he worked, and then seeing it pay off, and him being able to, when I was in middle school, be able to build my parents' dream home, and
Mhm.
raise us throughout the rest of our childhood there. It was awesome. And yeah, I definitely get my work ethic from him, for
So it
sure.
wasn't always like your whole childhood experience was,
No.
very prominent and
When
big.
no, when my parents had me, they had one car, they were struggling, they had debt, they were freaking out.
Mm.
And I think they both have said that the biggest motivator was obviously having a
Right.
child. And but also just yeah, just continuing to push through, and believe that everything happens for a reason, and that things will work out, has been something that's been said to me since I was little. So I take that with me every single day.
Hmm.
And and seeing the hard work pay off from my dad, and seeing how how he was able to achieve his dreams,
Hmm.
made me want to do that too.
And I will say, so your father obviously was like the breadwinner, and your mother
Mm-hmm.
was a stay-at-home mom
Mm-hmm.
for what, 20?
I mean, I'm gonna be 30, so she hadn't worked since she had me. No, she was a
Yeah.
great stay-at-home mom. I mean,
Yeah.
she was what she calls the Kool-Aid house. Like, everyone would, come over, and she just would have, Gatorade, food,
All the
everything.
snacks, all the things.
Yeah, she was awesome at doing that. But no, she hadn't worked until last year.
Yeah.
And
And to see your mother's like transformation of
yeah,
where she's come in 8 years,
yeah,
from not
yeah,
really having her own identity and insecure, and, to now have a job
yeah.
and like coming
Moving
into
to
her own is
Austin.
like incredible.
Yeah, they moved to Austin in 2022, and that was life-changing for her. She just really having to do the move primarily by herself, and sell her home that she had been in for almost 20 years, and um get rid of things, completely move to a different city. She grew up, I mean, she moved to the Dallas area when she was 11, was surrounded by her siblings and family. And then moving away from that was huge for her. She had never lived outside of Texas, really, since, you know, she was 11. And so it was a lot for her. And then getting her job at the spa that she works at, she runs the place now. They love her, and they just, I mean, they really appreciate her, and she loves just running around and working, and yeah, it's really given her has breathed new life. And
yeah. And I will say, not to get too heavy or deep so quickly, but I will say that your whole family, especially you and your mom, are like navigating. Your father has alcoholism, and I know that that's been something that you've been working through.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, and I feel like that journey from a familial perspective, you know, can really help people. Their own personal journey with that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of more people can relate to knowing someone with alcoholism these days. I feel like a lot of people, at least that I talk to, you know someone at least, or are closely affected by it. And he has had severe alcoholism. And I say severe, I mean, seizures and like in and out of the hospital, and a very heavy stuff. That has been a steady decline over the past decade, and specifically over the past few years. I would say ever since COVID, my mom and I really, like, that kind of marks where we feel like it's gotten way, way worse. Yeah, he had his first seizure on an airplane that me and my mom were on with him coming back from Nicaragua, actually. And that was, I mean, terrifying. We were 45 minutes from landing outside of DFW, and it was a lot. It was, you know, in the moment, your fight or flight, like, but reflecting on it, it's crazy that I went through that. And then, you know, it's happened more. There's been rehabs and hospitals and everything. And unfortunately, like, he's just like losing this battle of alcoholism and depression. There's never, the reason why I feel like I'm able to talk about it so openly is because I have been talking about it for so long, and I do have such an incredible support system. But also that there was never any, you know, destructiveness with it. There was never any abuse with it. There was never any, it's really just with the struggle within himself. And he was an incredible father for, you know, a lot of my life. I'm grateful for that. You know, he coached my soccer team. He, you know, went to every single soccer game until I graduated high school, and was there for me, you know, through a lot. And he
gave you a really beautiful childhood.
Yes, he gave me a beautiful childhood. So I like to look at those moments,
right,
and not dwell on the unfortunate circumstance. I mean, anyone that has seen someone battle with alcoholism to the end, it's something that I just can't even describe. It's the worst disease I think that I've ever seen.
This is the closest that I've ever experienced it.
Yeah.
You know, with you, it's, you know, I think it's so easy, and even myself included before, to be like, oh God, can't they just stop drinking? Can't they have children, they have something to live for.
Exactly.
Doesn't he want to walk you down the aisle?
Yeah.
Doesn't he want to be there, you know, for your brother's college graduation? Like, you can't help but be like, God, so selfish. You know, there's options and rehabs, and, you know,
and that's very frustrating. Like we used to get frustrated at that. But I think just recently, in the past couple of years, we've really just, I mean, understood that this is disease.
Is disease.
Yeah,
truly. That's like taken over, out of control, out of his control.
Absolutely. My mom has been his caretaker for, I mean, since the major decline. And it is, I applaud her for it. She has done the best she absolutely can navigating it, and really stepped up, to your original point, stepped up in so many ways for herself. And she is just night and day a different person.
Right.
So happy. I mean, every one that I see that knows her and has known her for a long time is like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
happy for your mom. She seems so happy and lively and just energetic and despite dealing with all of
Right.
this.
That's what I was going to say. She
Yeah.
has this silent battle
Mm-hmm.
and struggle that she's dealing with that's very heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like you, that must be part of where and how you get your resilience from,
Yeah.
because she has this silent battle that people, her coworkers probably have no idea,
Yeah.
what she's going through at home. And like with you,
Yeah.
you're out here showing places and put a smile on your face and you're so professional and you're just showing up for everyone in your life, but you have this like silent struggle,
Yeah. I think
that's very heavy.
yeah, it's so it really is heavy, and I do have my days where
Yeah.
I get I almost crash of like I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But I let that day go by. I give myself that space. I take a break from my phone. I just binge watch TV or I sit outside and I whatever I feel like doing.
You work out a lot too.
Oh, I
That
work out
helps.
every single day.
Yeah.
Almost every day. I love working out, but I do all the types of things to try to set myself up to prepare for what inevitably is going to happen, honestly. And I think that no one would, it's shocking to people sometimes that I'm just like the other day, it's like my dad is actually in the hospital right now, for the fourth time in 6 months. And it's, I am going to a showing and then I go straight from the showing to the hospital and I don't blink an eye until I do have those kind of crash days where I'm like, you know what, I need to just take a break, cry. But I will say, even though all of it's so bad and it's a lot to take in for a normal person that hasn't been through this, we have been dealing with it for so long. And growing up, my dad always would instill in me that like Mimi, actually, this too shall pass, and that things will be okay.
Mimi's your mother's mom.
My dad's mom.
Your dad's
yeah.
mom? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where he got it from, and then he's passing that on to you.
Yeah.
Because so many people could choose to be a victim of this, could choose to just be like, why me? Why my dad? And have that define who they are as a person. So for you to make the decision, like, I'm going to focus on the good. I'm so grateful for my father. I'm so grateful for my childhood that he gave me.
Yeah.
And you're leaning in, to the memory of him at his best is incredible.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. It's, it's not easy, but you have to, at a certain point, just let it go. Like, you're not going to be able to control that person.
Right.
Anyone who has dealt with an alcoholic or an addict in any sense of the word, knows that you have to let go. That person's going to do what they, want. And ultimately it's up to every single individual in life, what path they're going to choose.
Right.
And yeah, so, I mean, I am so grateful for my boyfriend, Jordan, who, I mean, we've been together for 13 years and, he has been there every step of the way through so much with with this situation with my family. And, I lean on him a lot, and I think it's, people always are shocked. Oh, you've been together for 13 years.
That's not normal. It used to be normal back in the day. People would marry their high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Right? I mean, I feel like almost when I tell people, I'm like, they're going to be shocked. I'm like, almost like, not embarrassed, but like, just like, oh, like bracing for impact, especially because at our age, 30 years old, we're both, or he's 30, I'll be 30 soon. And people are like, why? And you haven't proposed, you haven't been married. You do have to think that we have been together for this long. Yes. But we got together when we were 17 years old. And when we were babies, like, I feel like our relationship in the past few years has been completely different than it was prior to us. We took like a little break and for a few months, and I think that it was the healthiest thing for us. I think it was absolutely needed because when you're together for that many years and you're so young, you have, and going through college and going through your young 20s,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, what else is out there? Or, is this just it? And we, had
Those
rightfully
moments,
so
yeah.
those thoughts and
Yeah.
moments. Um, you know, I would say around like 26 years old, and, took a break and realized that, like, no, this is my best friend. This is my rock. And I think he definitely helps me. Number one thing for me, I feel like in relationships, is being able to make me laugh
Mm-hmm.
and to honestly make light of heavy situations
Right.
and be able to be okay, like, like leave the hospital and when I'm upset or crying, and like just make a light, joke, and move on to, okay, what do you want to get for dinner or whatever. Like, it just, to have that person there,
Yeah.
I think it's also huge of why I'm able to process it, because I feel like I have a steady home life for myself at home. And feeling like safe at home is the biggest thing for me, because I feel like there's chaos a little bit right now around me,
Right.
outside of that.
Well, I mean, you said that your relationship is so different. Well, you're different. You're both different.
Yeah.
You're like going through such important, pivotal, like life
Yeah.
stages and changes together. And honestly, I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, I think that that's what will help you guys whenever so many people have like identity crisis
Yeah.
and like, what is it, a midlife
Yeah.
crisis, in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And you guys have already kind of had a mini one, and like that transition from teenagers to like young adults.
Yeah. I mean, I never was the type of person to, fantasize about my wedding, make a Pinterest board of my wedding. I never, ever thought about that. I was always very, almost like tomboyish. I just, that wasn't in the forefront of my mind. I actually, going to college, was like, I just want my career. Like, I want to work. I want to be successful. And that's all I really wanted to focus on. And to have a partner who has been able to go through that with me, and us both go through our own successes and failures in our careers, and buy a house together in 2021. We've just put a lot of things before the marriage. And I also am so grateful that we didn't, graduate college and jump into a marriage and everything, because to be honest, it's like I don't know if we would have survived the late 20s breakup.
And that's a big reason why people get divorced.
Yeah.
You're doing all the things first,
Yeah.
and then waiting to get married is huge.
You're a big inspiration for me, of like people.
My failed marriages?
No.
my 2 divorces? I certainly hope so. I hope
no,
that
you're a big inspiration of me to you having your first kid at 39.
Yeah, 38. Girl,
38. 38. And I really just like, I'm like, there's no rush.
Yes.
I want to be being able to have a kid and feel so secure in your like financial situation, your personal, like you traveled, you used to tell me like travel now, travel while you can. And so we're enjoying the stage that we're in right now. And I think that's important for a lot of people to remember, that there's no pressure. I mean, you get on Instagram, you get on TikTok, everyone.
You can't help but compare. Comparison
I do it.
is the death of joy.
Exactly.
Like, we all do it.
I do it I see these, influencers who are, getting married at the perfect age, and, having a baby a couple years later, and it's just all perfect. And real life stuff happens. So I think that, if I can have one message to people, it's that, like, don't get caught up in making everything, seem absolutely perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Go at your own speed, go at your own timeline.
Yeah. I love that, because I do feel like, there is this pressure, like you're in a relationship. The next thing is like a marriage and kids, and, you're doing it your way, and that's incredible. And I hope that it's inspiring to people that are in their 20s, and I meet women that are, in their 30s, and they're single, and they're just like, oh my God, I'm so old. And I'm like, girl, you are so young.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing to be single. Let me tell you, like, it is a beautiful thing.
You lived your best life.
I absolutely. I'm in a relationship right now, and I'm the happiest I've ever been, ever. But it took failed two failed relationships to be like, I love being single. I'm a lover girl.
You are.
Like, let's be
You
real.
are.
Like, I'm my best when I'm in love. I, want a partner. I've always valued relationships and marriage. And I actually have one of my friends was like, do you consider yourself a hopeless romantic? And I'm like, good question. I guess I do, because I keep trying despite having failures. Shit, like I keep trying, but I genuinely value, and that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But for me, I value relationships and partnership. I think one of the statistics that I saw recently was like the two happiest group of people out there are single women and married men. I'm like, well, yeah, they single women sleep real good at night, without some man stressing them out. And married men, most women are like caretakers and do all the things.
Yeah.
So the men, don't have the weight that the women, especially like mothers, have.
That's so true.
But I will say, I think the happiest of all, and the percentage of that is probably so small, are like happily married people, like people that are in a really good, healthy relationship are probably the happiest, statistic out there. It's just like 1%, it's like so small.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, I feel like when I do get married and have a baby, I want to be in such a healthy headspace. And if we're being, realistic, I'm personally feel like I have been taking kind of stock of my life and everything over the past few months, now just thinking about turning 30 and really just like coming to terms with that and stuff. And I like where I'm at, and I like where Jordan and I are at, but I do have stuff like my dad that is a big, big, big weight right now, to where I would not want to plan for a child right now. I have other things.
Plan for a wedding.
Exactly.
For a kid.
Yeah. And I joked with my girlfriends recently. I'm like, does anyone even want to like have go to our wedding? I mean, we've been dating for this long. Like, everyone's bored of it already. Like, they're not going to take it seriously. Like, whatever. And they're like, we have been waiting
We're
for
invested.
like,
we deserve this wedding.
Like, we have been dealing with all of this for so long. Like, you better know. You better go to the best wedding ever.
Yeah, exactly. We need this wedding. It's a long time coming.
So yeah, I need to kind of get out of my head about that, because I do think like, oh my God, we've been together for so long.
Yeah.
Like, but like I said, half of that was
children,
babies.
Yeah, you were babies.
And navigating, the early starts of our career and college and everything. And just, now having real life, real adult, things to go through with each other. That's been really, really nice. Yeah.
I love that. Well, speaking of, navigating, girl, let's talk about navigating the last 4 years of our real estate career.
Yeah.
I mean, you started kind of 8 years ago, healthy market.
Yeah.
To the like crazy COVID boom, to the last 2 years, which hands down have been like the two most challenging years of anyone in a real estate, their career, especially mine. How do you feel like what do you feel like you've learned from that, both personally and professionally, and what's your experience been like?
Number one, it humbled us.
Oh yeah.
It humbled us hard, because I got my license in 2017, but then Krystle, has been in this business for even longer. Let's just go from 2017. I mean, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. And it just kept getting bigger, better, better. Like, I mean, you are a $20+ million agent, and I had my best year in 2022, selling almost 10 million. And then to go in 2023 and 2024 to making a fraction of that, and to it was a lot to navigate and process. Like, what is the future of this career? Also, a lot of changes with NAR and with like a lot of rule changes for real estate agents. So many agents, I think you said like 80,000 in the
nationally
US.
let their license go. I don't know specifically in Texas or Austin, but thousands of people let their real estate license go.
I do think it has it humbled us, but it also brought us to the other side of it, where this year, I think the beginning of this year, we all felt like it was just going to be different, that things were turning around. I think the election.
All we have is hope and a dream, baby. And a cocktail.
And
that's all. Every year, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. And now it's like finally feels.
It feels like it's a
getting,
steady.
Yeah,
it's a steady, you know, movement this year. Which
the pendulum is finally swing in our favor.
I think a lot of things, the insanely high interest rates that people were in their mind, when you go from a 3% interest rate to almost 8s in 2023 and 2024,
substantial jump.
It doubles, if not triples, your monthly payment. So, and also we had the election that was going on. I think a lot of people just stood still for a while unless they had to move. But I am grateful to be on the other side of it and be at, you know, a point where my career has, I think it forced us to kind of shift in a way, and my career has shifted to us. Just, we did let go of our office downtown. We were in our office. You were in the office for how long?
A decade. Yeah. It was a big part of my identity. So it was really difficult to like
when we had our farewell party for the office. My mom literally cried. She's like, because I worked there for 7 years. It was a part of my identity too. My parents closed on their house here in Austin at that office. They signed on their house in McKinney at that office. There's a lot,
so many memories.
So many parties, but it was I think that was a main thing. Obviously not having a downtown office anymore. We have our brokerage office, which I love to go to because we also get to interact with other agents. I think it has shifted our career into a more active like lifestyle.
Yeah, we were like in our little like bubble, and we
would literally sometimes just go in the office, get $50 worth of salads, and
get our ice lattes
and sit there
$50
and
lunches,
and go home kind of. And it's like, now I feel like we're on the go all the time. I mean, we're at showings, listing appointments,
and we ain't spending $50 on salads no more. Those days are behind us. Unless we want a nice little treat.
No, we learned how to pack our own.
Yeah, it's exactly right. We're like the Kardashians now, shaking our salads up.
Yeah, so I think there's been such a change in the past couple of years. Needed.
It was,
you can't stay in a stalemate like a situation forever.
Right.
It was an incredible 7 years that I spent there, decade that you spent there. But I will say, this change is nice, and it feels like it's almost a new era for us.
Right.
And especially with the better market this year and the healthier market, I should say.
Yeah, I will definitely say that has been like so humbling for me, like we were just making it rain, like no hesitation.
Yeah.
You're so used to like making a certain amount and living a certain lifestyle for a decade, and then it's like seemingly almost overnight.
Yeah.
It all changed. Like my running joke has been like the fact that I haven't gotten on OnlyFans is like a miracle.
Hey, if it would have gone 6 more months, who knows?
I may or may not have had my username picked out, but no, truly, like it. But I'm grateful for it, because here we are. We're on hopefully the other side of it, but we survived.
Yeah, we did.
And I
learned a lot of lessons.
Learned so many lessons. I'm like, I was just. Even when I'm back up, baby, and it's raining all over again, I am going to make very different choices.
I will say, for anyone getting into this business, save. That is the most important thing. Absolutely. I mean, that is how I'm sure a lot of agents have gotten through the past couple of years is
and other streams of income too.
Yeah.
Other like.
When things were like, difficult last year, I picked up assistant jobs. I definitely, which I was doing back when I started working with Krystle. And so I definitely, it was difficult, but I didn't think for a second that
you weren't going to make it.
I wasn't
like this wasn't your career.
We had to pivot. We just had to have pivot, adapt, and also have weekly check-ins where we're like, okay, we will make it out of this. We will make it out of this. Because you will.
And find humor in the life.
Yes. And literally $1 million deal can blow up now, and we just laugh because I'm like,
I just saw a meme recently on Instagram that was like, you know that you've been through some shit in real estate when like the most catastrophic thing happens and you're not even fazed by it. Like that has literally been like the last 2 years of my life.
Yes.
Have been like the worst thing can happen. I'm like,
okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Of course this happened.
Of course it happened.
Of course this happened.
Yeah.
Like not even phased, which is like kind of sad.
No.
But at the same time, it's just like,
yeah.
all right, you know, you got to keep it moving. Where there's a will, there's a way. Like
we definitely had to pivot too. You know, with downtown condos took a huge hit during COVID, and still have not come back.
Yeah,
we have pivoted and mainly do single family now,
right?
And that is a huge, I think, a huge pivotal moment in both of our careers, and in a good way, honestly.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah,
I definitely feel through adversity there is a silver lining. Yeah, for sure.
I just many times did I put my Mimi's words in my. I'm like, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Yes, and all you have is a dream and a prayer, girl. Like that's all we've had to get us through the last 2 years.
Exactly,
and at least we've had one another.
Yeah,
you know, like at least
we
had like
that's also, you know, I think I said this in the beginning, but you know, having a work partner, working with an assistant or working with, you know, an agent, a successful agent, learning from them, that is so pivotal in networking and learning about the business, but also just having each other, because this business is ups and downs every single day. Your business and life can change in one instant, whether for the bad or for the good. You get good news or bad news. So having some we are therapists.
Well, so
welcome to our therapy.
Oh my God. No, but we literally met with a client last week. I was crying laughing about this to myself afterwards. We met with a client last week and who brought like their uncle who speaks better English than them. And they were just like, so, you know, Joel brought up the whole commission thing, and they were like, you know, how do you guys get paid? And are you willing to work with us on the commission? And we basically at the same time, we were like, we're commission based. We've been working for free on this. We've been trying to sell this condo for like a year and a half. I was like, we have been working for free for a year and a half.
Yeah.
We've been trying to sell this property.
Yeah.
So trust, our interests are aligned.
Yeah.
Like I am not in this business to get listings. I am in this business to sell real estate. Mm-hmm. Like we've been working for free for a year and a half. So our goal 100%, he was like, oh, I didn't realize that. I thought maybe you were like, had gotten paid. I'm like, from who? From what? Yeah. You know, we're self-employed. Like, no, we haven't gotten paid $1. And guess what? If this doesn't sell, all of our time for what?
Yeah.
You know, that's the nature of the industry. It comes along with it. But it's almost like people forget that. They're like, oh, I hired you to sell my property. Like you work for me. And it's like, of course I do. Trust. No one wants your property to sell faster than I do. And think about it. If it doesn't sell, then literally all my time, money, effort. Energy spent. Sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes a year and a half. And it's like people, they don't realize that sometimes. It really, you have to have thick ass skin.
You do.
To be in anything that's, you know, self-employed sales, but it's girls.
I mean, I say that I'm like, you have to have thick ass skin, but then I'm like at home, like just break down about crying. I'm like, that's what Jordan sees, but then I mean, honestly,
it's good. You have to have those moments.
The good days outweigh
my God,
the bad days.
Yeah, the good clients, the good days. It's by far 1,000%. I am so grateful. It doesn't even feel like work.
Yeah.
Like it's like I can do it with my eyes closed. I'm so confident in what I do. I've been doing it for so long, and I am so proud of you. I'm like, okay. Like I'll see the way you know send me your communication with clients. I'm like, yeah, girl.
Oh, I learned from that.
I know. I'm like so proud of you. You're informative, you're assertive, you're still a little softer and kinder than I am, and I encourage you to keep that. I love that for you. I'll not have for you. Scales, girl. I have a fucking dragon scales on me. I've been doing it for so long. You have little baby lizard skin. But yeah, I'm impressed. I'm proud. Like,
thank you. I mean, I learned from the best. So you have to honestly stick up for yourself in this business too. And you've taught me that.
And it's a perception too, that like, you know, we make all this money and it's just easy and it's like hell to the no. When we would interview agents, I used to be like,
Oh.
do you have 6 months of reserves in the account? And now I'm like, you got 2 years, minimum 2 years.
Yeah.
You got a side, are you on OnlyFans? Are you got a
Literally.
side hustle? Like, are you an Amazon influencer? Like, what else are you doing? Because it's going to take like so much time to truly, but once you get it going, once you get established, once you know, the sky truly is the limit.
And I feel like, you know, honestly, going through the past couple of years has made me come out on the other side being like, I now know so much more. I'm more prepared. I'm so much more knowledgeable, and I have so much more confidence.
Yeah.
Even though it was shitty, but you know, I just have confidence in like, hey, listen, I can go through a lot and come out on the other side.
So what would you say is your kind of crystal clear, life-changing, defining moment? And that can be whether it's like real estate related, personally related. Like, I feel like you're just at your tender age of 29 navigate life so beautifully. I'm so proud of you. But I know that you've had very like defining moments. And what would you say those are?
I would say buying my house was very, you know, just defining and feeling like I owned a part of Austin and was here to stay. I was 26 and it was, that was an awesome experience. And I would also say, to be honest, I think I'm going through one kind of now, navigating a lot of milestones in my life, with my, you know, birthday coming up with Jordan, and then most, you know, defining right now my dad and just how I'm trying to navigate that, and checking in like with myself. I don't think I've ever been more self-aware and like really just taking stock of how I'm feeling. I'm almost being like gentler to myself these days, because I'm like, I'm giving myself grace a little bit, because every day is different, and I'm always bracing right now for the worst, professionally and
personal,
somewhat personally. I think those are two, like, the buying my house was big. I think me and Jordan splitting up when we did, and then coming back together, that was a very big decision on both of our parts to kind of switch our life into more of or not our life, but our relationship into more of an adult relationship, where as I felt like previously we were just, we're having so much fun and just living life, but like we never really had like tough discussions. And now, you know, it's we're both very into just being optimistic about things. Like every time I'm having a bad day, he's saying positive words to, you know, and to try to get me, you know, to see the brighter side of things. And that's what I need right now. So I think that was a big shift, but I think ultimately, my like crystal clear moment is honestly probably happening right now. Like, not, I love it in this exact moment, but yeah, like over this stage of my life. Right now.
I love that.
What about you?
Oh my God. Well, I definitely feel like crystal clear defining moment for me was like making the choice to get a divorce. I was so unhappy. I was like literally looked.
You were a different person. Yeah, you were a different person.
I felt like a different person. I remember like going to lunch with Vicky and the anxiety. Like, I got on anti-anxiety medication because I was so fucking stressed out and so unhappy, you know, and it was like, and it's not, you know, that person's bad, I'm bad. It was just, we weren't compatible.
No.
You know, and it was just soul sucking.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like finally making the decision to like, okay, I am miserable.
And
And I refuse to live like this
Yeah.
anymore. I want so much more for myself, and I want so much more for my son to like be in an environment where people are in love and they're
Yeah.
happy, and it's a healthy, beautiful, dynamic partnership. That's what I want for my life, and that's
Yeah.
what I want for my son. And so making the choice to like get a divorce, I can't even talk right now. I'm like, so, truly like that was like
No, it changed. I think it changed your
crystal
entire.
clear, defining, life changing
Absolutely.
moment was to do that and go through that.
Yeah.
And it was almost like instantly when we were no longer in the house together, it was like my life overnight shifted.
A big.
I had a home
brick
that
off your
I,
shoulders.
had on the market forever, and it was like literally the next day
Yeah.
went under contract.
Yeah.
Like things just started happening.
Yeah. When you get negativity out of your life, whether it be caused by you yourself or your relationship or whatever, whenever that negativity stops, I feel like better things
Oh, of course,
are open up and come into your life.
My blessings were blocked.
Yeah.
Both of ours, my ex and mine. It was like the minute we got away from each other, it was like for both of us, like, doors started opening, things, the universe like shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will say that was, I'm so grateful for it. I'm still going through all the same stresses, with work and stuff, but that's like, doesn't feel like it's manageable. What's not manageable is like when you're going through that and going through like this other
the
thing.
littlest stuff also can like set you off and just make you make it 10 times worse.
So that 1000% best decision ever. It took a long time to get there and make that decision because it was a very big decision to make, especially when a kid is involved and you want this beautiful nuclear family for your child.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, I'm going to fuck them up even more if I stay in this toxic, relationship and environment. I don't want that.
It doesn't matter how it gets happy.
Exactly. You're far better served to have a happy mom and a happy dad separately than to have two people together that are miserable.
Mm-hmm.
That's really going to affect your child. And so that 1000% crystal clear defining best decision of my life. I am at 43, the happiest I have ever been, despite being, stressed out and work and all the things. All of that it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so this is what the other side of fear looks like. Like that is,
I love that.
Oh my God. I remember, someone said that to me once and I was like, wow, this is truly what the other side of fear looks like. And it's beautiful.
I'm so happy for you and where you are in your life right now.
Me too.
I'm happy for us that we're
we didn't get on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We kept our real estate license active. No shade, guys, to the OnlyFans out there. I talk about it because I know I can make that money and love it for them that they're making all that money, baby. Good for them. So no shade there at all. I think it's incredible. I don't have the balls to do it, but I would kill it. Let's just say it.
I don't know. Should she do it, guys?
But yeah, thank you. And cheers to us. The fact that we I guess we have to drink, right? It's
bad luck.
We made it. I love you. I'm grateful for you.
Much.
You allow me to do life the way I do it. And I'm just so grateful for you. I'm so proud of you. You're about to be 30. That's a big deal. You have so much to look forward to, and you've accomplished so much in your tender 29 years of life. And I'm just love you so much. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. I mean, my life would be completely different without you. You have shaped my entire life, 20s and life. I mean, I not just how I speak to clients, but I learned so much from you and how you navigate life in your personal life too. So, I am just so grateful, and maybe I'll come back on and
discuss more.
Yeah, we can get into more details about whatever y'all want to hear.
Yeah, I love it. Cheers to us.
Cheers to us.
Yeah.